one of the main storylines out of this game, Max, is Dak Prescott needs surgery on his thumb, correct?
Thumb, 4 to 6 weeks they're saying, and then they say indefinitely. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if this is the excuse you need to get rid of Mike McCarthy, and I feel like watching this game, we just saw the same undisciplined Cowboys team we saw at the end, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, so our boy Dak was like he's a Cowboy fan, but he hates them because he hates all the BS that goes around him. Like, who's the kick returner, the MVP of the USFL? Yeah, that guy didn't save your guys' season like you guys thought he
Yeah.
was. Cowboy fans, he sucks. He sucks.
Yeah.
Week, I know it's 1 week.
And
I know, but it's always
yeah,
the circus with them.
let's
Zeke Elliott looks like a clown with his futuristic face mask helmet.
let's
It's
go ahead and get that out of the way, Max. In the beginning of the show, we all know all the opinions we're gonna have and all the analysis we're gonna have. It's all overreaction. It's week one. We understand that, but if we just took it as that as week one, there wouldn't be much to talk about.
yeah.
So you can only go off of what we've seen today. Obviously, we said it in a pick'em. Don't take much into week one, but with something like this happens with Dak Prescott and you lose your quarterback, it's big news. It's not an overreaction. And I even think when he was out there, the offensive line was a problem. Who they lost bodies even more today. It's bad. Look, they had their offensive weapons are terrible. Besides Tony Pollard, who every time when he touches the ball, he goes for more yards than Zeke. We've been saying it for 2.5 years now, Max, that Tony Pollard
And I,
should be
I
the
know
starting
people are
running
going to
back.
be like, well, Tony only had 6 carries for 8 yards. Well, every time he had a good carry, there was like a hold. It was just like something that had no impact on the play. Zeke looks slow out there. It's just the eye test. When Tony P's back there, it's about the juice. Like Zeke still
Yeah,
has a role in this league. He can be a decent back, but for $20 million, it's not worth it. And here's what kills me: one, they cut Leo Collins.
mm,
They basically dumped Amari Cooper. Why? Just why
yeah,
did you do it? Like what did you gain out of it? You saved some money.
yeah. It
So, like
it's
I
not
would have
looking
rather
good.
had those guys. Look how thin they are. They're
So
just thin everywhere. They're thin across the board.
so he's out for 4 to 6 weeks, right? So six.
That, that's what they say, but then they say indefinitely. So,
So look, I'm gonna call it. He's out until at least week 10 because they have a bye week in week 9, and I'm just gonna go over some of their opponents that they have coming up.
okay.
Next game, Cincinnati at home. Cincinnati just got off of a brutal loss. That's gonna be a tough game. New York Giants on Monday Night Football. Giants look kind of good today.
Someone
They
picked
don't
them.
look like they don't look like a slapdick team. Washington, they look pretty good today. They
Yeah.
look better than we expected. Week one, we know. Then they got the Rams in LA. They got Philly in Philly. They got Detroit. Then they got Chicago. Then it's the bye week. And even when Dak Prescott comes back, they got to play Green Bay, Minnesota, Philly again, Tennessee, Washington. Like, to me, it's looking like Dallas season is over, dude. Like, I don't see Cooper Rush winning more than 2 games.
Is this Jimmy G territory? Is it just, hey, let's get Jimmy G and get him in here and just have
That's a
him?
great point.
But
That's a great point.
And I don't really want to segue to the game yet, but maybe San Francisco's looking at the game they just had and we're like, let's pump the brakes on this Jimmy G thing.
That would be really interesting. The Jimmy G card, the Jimmy G element to this is it has to be the perfect trade package. Everything has to be perfect because Jimmy G has a no trade clause. So he has to waive them. It's not like the Niners can get just the deal that they want. It's what Jimmy wants. So if I'm Dallas, is it worth it?
I don't think he saves this team. I don't think this team's good enough where
I
it
don't
can.
think so either.
It's not like I would say last year's team would survive better if you got Jimmy G than this team because this team's the offense. What do they do well, Juan? Like, what's the CD Lamb's a
It's
good
CD Lamb or
player.
bust.
Yeah, CD Lamb's good, but their passing offense isn't that creative. Their head coach is kind of a nightmare. They don't block that well. They don't pass protect well. They did these 2 stupid trick plays in the beginning of the game that netted them like negative 15 yards. Why? My question is why? And like, I know Dallas fans have this reputation, and we're like, we always want to win the Super Bowl, but like, dude, this roster is not good enough. The defense kind of didn't look that good for stretches, especially when it comes to pass coverage. And I know last year they had this historic, renaissance of a defense. Is it going to
Right.
be historic again? You think it's going to go even better? Yeah, Micah's a dog. Who else is there really to write home about? Trayvon Diggs? He didn't look all
Right.
that great. Anthony Brown?
When you're banking on a subpar like draft pick that they had, what's his name? Jalen Tolbert, I think.
Yeah, he didn't even
He's
suit up. He was hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, like when that guy's supposed to be like your second receiver, like, and you're depending on guys like Noah Brown, like it's not a recipe like to win. And they're hurting right now at the receiver position and just playmakers in general. And the one playmaker that they do have besides CD Lamb, it's Tony Pollard, and he doesn't get the ball enough.
Tony Pollard has a potential to break one off and get you points. You sometimes need that. We talked about that with the Chiefs about how losing Tyreek Hill, you lose that. And that can
Yeah,
be valuable in a big game against the Bills, where he literally scared them into getting you that field goal to tie the game at the end of regulation.
yeah.
You have Noah Brown, and poor Chris Collinsworth with his messed up voice has to go out there and call his trash. Out here, Mike. I forgot it's Mike Tirico. It's not Al Michaels anymore, but just poor Chris Collinsworth. Cowboys
Yeah,
just not a
they
showing
woke
you
him up.
want to see, and I think the season's pretty much done. I know it's week 1, but with an injury to a team's quarterback, and they're already
Yeah,
pretty thin, it's kind of
they're
writing's
done.
on the
I'm
wall.
calling them done. I don't see it for them.
Stick a fork
They-
in them because they are fucking done.
exactly, dude.